Have you in your life wondered the things happening to you, are they predestined or do you have free will in all of this? And this is the most awakening question a soul can actually ask itself. And the paradoxical answer to this is it is actually both. A lot of things are predestined, but there is a lot of free will that eventually comes into play as well. And in this video, I want to actually walk you through the spiritual truth about this whole concept of free will and destiny taken from all the spiritual teachings. Because if you actually understood why your soul's journey is designed in the way it is, you will actually take your power back in a way from this whole situation. And you will stop blaming the pain that you're going through in your life, and you will start honoring the breakthroughs that are actually lying ahead in front of you. So, if you're new here, I'm Vesh, and this is a place where we talk about everything from spirituality, manifestation, reality creation, the soul's evolution and journey, so that you can actually make sense of all these things and start applying that to your own life. The first thing I want to talk about is that your soul actually designed the setup before you were born, so in a way, it's predestined, but the fulfillment of it is your free will. So let's begin here. Before you are incarnated, your soul actually chose the main key lessons that your soul needs to go through in this lifetime. So let's say if you wanted to work on your abandonment wound, you would actually choose a family, you would actually choose your parents to be people who would trigger that abandonment wound inside you. And this also includes the partners who would actually trigger you so that your unhealed wounds come to the surface and the karmic contracts that actually awakens you in this life. There is a book called The Journey of Souls by Michael Newton, and that even he explains that the soul actually chooses the lessons but not how to handle them. So, in a way, the things, the hardships that you're facing in your life, the bad partners, or the so called karmic contracts, your relationship with your family, all of this was your choice at the end of the day. But you are not equipped with the tools of how to navigate them or how to handle them, and that is something that you will be exploring in this lifetime when you're moving through this journey. Now, you will see a lot of people have a very toxic family or very bad relationship, but not a lot of people actually work on it. This is where the free will actually comes in, because in a way, these things, these relationships, these family relationships or romantic ones, whatever you take into consideration, was chosen by them. But a lot of them actually remain stuck in that victim mindset, and a lot of them actually blame other people instead of looking within and taking ownership. So, this is where the free will actually comes in. Some people decide to heal themselves, work on their patterns, whereas some people decide to jump from one relationship to the other or even keep blaming other people. The second thing I want to talk about is that the early relationships in your life are often soul contracts, and you don't get a lot of free will in that. And these are not conscious choices that you actually make for yourself. So these include the family relationships, the romantic relationships that you attract in your teenage years or even in your early 20s as well. Most of the time, you cannot explain the pull that you're feeling towards this person, the confusion that's caused in the relationship, and even have answers to the question as to why you are not able to leave that relationship. But usually around the age of 25 to 28 is when the soul actually starts awakening. And that is where you actually start exercising conscious choice when it comes to choosing the partner that you have in your life. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people who do not do or make these kind of conscious choices even post, let's say, mid 20s, because they haven't understood their own patterns. They haven't understood what they need to be working on in this life, because of which they keep repeating the patterns again and again until it completely breaks them down, or until there is such a big crisis that they cannot avoid confronting their own selves. And as the Yoga Vashishta says, even if you know when something is right, the karma actually compels us until our awareness dissolves it. So sometimes we know the decisions that we are making or the situation that we are going into is not right for us, because a lot of times we have an intuitive feeling, we have the gut feeling. Your intuition is basically your soul's GPS. But again, we still end up in some kind of a situation completely ignoring our gut feeling. And because there is a lesson there to be learned, and until you learn it, you're not going to be able to step out of it. And these people were not meant to stay. They were just here to catalyze your process, initiate you, and the pain that they caused you was meant to actually awaken you so that you can realize your own divine nature and stop settling for less than that. The third thing I want to talk about is that the exit point of that contract was always designed, but you had to walk through that whole thing in the very first place. There is always a turning point in a karmic loop. There is always a point where the pain gets so unbearable, the lessons get so loud that you cannot take that karmic lesson altogether. And it's during this threshold you're offered two choices. Either you break this pattern right now or you keep repeating this. And sometimes you do break the pattern. But then again, sometimes you feel drawn back into the same patterns. This is something that we can see with couples who break up again and again and get back together. I truly believe, like, if the breakup happens one time, there is a reason for why it happened altogether. And there have been exceptional cases where people broke up, got back together, and they got married, but I have never been an exception to the rule. I have always been an experiment for the universe. So, in my opinion, I don't think once the breakup happens, you should give it a second chance. And especially for traumatized people. The whole reason your soul even decided to actually get traumatized in the very first place is so that you can awaken later on in your life. So, if you're going back again to the same person who is triggering your wounds, guess what's going to happen? You are not breaking that karmic loop and you're giving it multiple chances until there comes a point where it gets so unbearable that there's no other option left but to leave it. So, this is where free will actually meets your destiny when these two options are given to you. Either you want to break the pattern or you want to repeat the pattern. There is a book called Sacred Contracts. Even in that, it says that most of the time people continue to stay in a relationship even after the lesson is learned, even after the contract is fulfilled. Your free will is only to decide when do you get to walk away from that contract. And most of the cases, people even have that sense of loneliness, a fear of being alone, which keeps them stuck even when the purpose of the relationship is actually done. And when you choose to exit that contract, not from a place of bitterness or resentment, but actually from a place of clarity, that contract dissolves even faster. You can actually move on from the whole thing and move through the heartbreak process or move through any kind of pain that contract even caused you much faster. The fourth thing I want to talk about is until your higher self awakens in this lifetime, you are going to feel powerless. There comes a time in your life where you actually start asking questions. You actually start wondering, what is the purpose of all of this? Why is this happening to me? Why is this not happening to someone else? What do I have to learn from this? That is the moment where your spiritual awakening starts happening, when you start asking yourself the questions and when you start seeking solutions for it. In my life, it actually happened at around the age of 26. I wish it would have happened early on in my life, but post it starting at the age of 26, it was an accelerated process. I feel like before 26, I was not even in a state of actually believing in spirituality. But over the last 2 years, I feel like my life has literally been on a fast forward. Every single month, my state of consciousness and my spirituality keeps going to the next level. And I have also wondered why this has happened in such a way, because there was a point where I was an atheist, then I became an agnostic person, and then I actually started believing in manifestation and universe, and then it went to a whole different level of believing in God itself. But this was not any outside events that triggered inside me. This was me seeking my own answers, the intuitive downloads I keep getting all the time, which kind of accelerated the whole process for me. So it's not that you are failing, you are basically under a form of soul spell or soul compulsion. And this is also something I can call it like spiritual amnesia, which keeps you stuck until your higher self actually comes into the picture. This is also predetermined in your life. There is a stage in everyone's life, if you're meant to awaken in this life, that is, where your higher self actually comes into the picture and leads you and guides you through your life. And this is the moment where your awakening actually starts happening. For some people, it happens in their 20s, for some in their 30s, for some people in their 50s. I have even seen people where they never awaken, they never ask these deeper questions, and they just go with the flow, living life. This is why most of the time in these karmic relationships, you cannot leave it as soon as you want to, because your higher self, in a way, hasn't awakened and it hasn't come online for it to actually give you the strength to walk away from that altogether before it's too late. And usually it's when your higher self awakens, you find yourself in middle of these small tests that actually universe sends you. And before it becomes a full blown painful situation, you have the discernment to actually walk away from it because you don't have the patience to have another lesson in your life. But once you gain the awareness and you embody your healing, that is where the awareness kicks in, and that is where life actually starts getting very magical. You find so many answers, you see so many synchronicities happening around you, and that is a sign that you're actually aligned right now. You're living from a place of alignment and you are on the right path. And usually, when you find yourself in a situation where you don't even want closure from someone else, because you became your own closure, and in a way, you don't seek answers from anyone else, and you have all the answers that you need within yourself, that is a great moment for you to actually realize that, hey, you have everything within you, and this is where you are in midst of awakening. So it's not that your soul wanted you to suffer indefinitely in this lifetime. It wanted you to suffer until a certain point, until you actually burn your karma and you learn all the lessons. But if you use your free will to not learn these lessons, this is where the pain actually starts prolonging. And this actually shows up in multiple areas of your life. Your work starts collapsing, your relationship starts collapsing, your health starts collapsing until you finally learn that lesson. So go through that pain. The moment you are in a painful situation, just know that there is a blessing that is lying ahead in front of you. Because in a way, pain expands your vessel to receive blessings of higher form, be it in terms of abundance or be it in terms of relationship as well. The childhood traumas and the self beliefs that were formed are basically illusions that you had to burn in this lifetime for you to actually realize that none of that was true. You are born divine. You are full of greatness, and at the end of the day, this whole life is actually just you realizing your own greatness. You don't walk away because you stop loving someone. You walk away because you finally start loving yourself. And this is a state of wholeness. This is a state of not wanting something or someone to complete you. This is also a state of detached form of love where you can actually love someone unconditionally because you are not using them to fill a void inside you, and you are not loving them from a place of attachment. And this kind of conscious love actually comes much later on in your life, that is if you awaken. In a way, I kind of find myself to be very lucky that I went through multiple karmic relationship early on, and I didn't have to kind of awaken post getting married to someone, because that would have been a much more painful lesson. And a lot of people actually have no relationship and get married and then they have their lessons. In my case, I feel like I had so many relationships. I learned so many lessons. My life feels like a crash course of karma, at least for the first 26 years of my life. No, I would actually say 27 years of my life. I'm still being tested every single day, but at least now you see the bigger picture. You see why this is happening, and then it gives you much more strength to actually move through these things. And even I don't think I've ever been this happy as well, because now I see everything is just an illusion and things are meant to happen the way it's supposed to happen. But suddenly I feel like, there's so much peace that's going to enter my life, especially in the last 1 year. I've been feeling that, and life has just been getting better and better. So I hope this episode was helpful and you could take a lot out of it when it comes to your own personal journey. And I'll see you guys soon.